Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much if you've subscribed or liked or even commented on any of the videos. I really appreciate it. Ooh, I don't know if you can hear the owl outside. There's an owl in the neighborhood that comes around. I call him Alfred. I know, original, but that's what he's called right now. But okay. So today I want to get, what is the gossip on you? What's the gossip going on around you right now? And I kind of want to do it specifically for work. Like, what's the gossip right now at work? So we have two piles today. Again, we're going to do pile 1 and pile 2. So go ahead and just pick whatever speaks to you, whatever your intuition's calling you to. You can do it through the deck. You can check the timestamps and see if the number speaks to you, whichever one. But we are just going to jump right into it. Already off the bat, I feel like with pile 1 right here, I feel like there is already some type of mystery around you. You may be a very, I don't want to say secretive person, because I don't feel like, it doesn't feel like you're very closed off, but it feels more like you're reserved in the sense that your coworkers probably notice that you probably don't involve yourself. I know this topic is like, what's the gossip on you? But you yourself, I don't think that you probably get too much into gossip for pile 1. That might be for some of you. You guys probably don't really get too much into like the gossip at work. You might just be very, it's almost like you don't even, you don't want to get involved in that type of stuff. Maybe you used to, and this is something that, maybe that's what people are talking about, like the difference, like a change in you. Like you don't partake into maybe conversations that deal with more, like drama or petty type of conversations, or just kind of, bickering between coworkers type thing. But let's see. Whoa, okay, a card's already flying out. What's the gossip? Okay, that's way too many, actually. What is, Holy Spirit, what is the gossip about pile 1 at work, at their job? What's going on with pile 1 over at their job? What is the gossip on pile 1 at their work? Yeah, okay. So you are definitely, there's talk right now about people, there's talk from people about how you've kind of moved on past, maybe it's even like situations at work that once really riled you up, maybe don't anymore. You don't really partake in that type of, you walk away from situations that maybe once you, again, like I said, like you used to join in, like there might be conversations that you used to join in on, or even venting, right? It doesn't even have to be like gossiping about other people. It could just be like venting about the state of things, or like the workload, or like about a manager or something like that. Like very, it's almost like maybe there was even, I wonder if you even had like a particular group of people, or like a particular coworker that you would like kind of vent with, or you guys would maybe go back and forth over, and it's like you're kind of leaving that behind. And maybe that's what your coworkers are picking up on, is that you are leaving that type of mentality behind. You might also be moving jobs. There might be talk about you, and that doesn't have to be like the case, but there might be talks about you moving on, or like moving upwards or moving onwards to something different. Holy Spirit, let's get another card, please. What is the gossip? What is the conversation going around about pile one at their work? What is the conversation going around about pile one at their work? Yeah, okay. People are also talking about how you are probably, you might be going on a break, or maybe this has to do something with maybe you are like you're due for a break, like you're due for a vacation, or you need to take some PTO or something. This is even just this, like the guardedness, right? Like, again, this might be, there's a reservedness to you now. That's what they're talking about, is like you are reserved. It's like you're kind of you're being very careful about what you say to who, is what I'm getting here. That's what I'm getting here, yeah. Let's do some oracle. Hold on. You know what? Actually, I want to do maybe you know what? We're going to do one more card, actually. Holy Spirit, can you give me one more card, please, for pile one, on what is the gossip, what is the conversation going on with them at work? Yeah, you're trying to be a little bit more patient. You're trying to find a little bit more balance. I think even in your attitude, maybe that's what people are talking about as well. There may have been a situation even post, maybe this was like even after like a trip that you did, or like a vacation that you took, or like some time off from work. There was some type of event that maybe kind of puts you into a more patient, more, I even want to say like tranquil. Is that even, I don't know if that's, it's almost like you're a little bit less like overdoing it in a way. Like it's like it almost is like the feeling of like you were like overstimulated before, or like it was like so much all the time, is what it feels like. And maybe you were like taking on a lot of people's, maybe you were the person that everyone would kind of go to in terms of like kind of chatting or gossiping or something. And maybe now it's like, maybe for some of you, instead of, if it didn't resonate that you had been a type of person who vented or did all that stuff, maybe you are the type of person where the gossip around you is just the fact that you may be a very quiet person. There may be also conversation about whatever it is that you've gone through, whatever this incident was, whether it be time off, maybe you had to go travel somewhere to take care of some type of situation. But ultimately, I think that the talk is that people are noticing this shift in you. The gossip around you is definitely that people notice this like very big shift that you've had in maybe even your attitude, your perspective of work, just the way you act at work. It definitely feels like there's kind of a difference here in how maybe you used to, I don't even want to say behave, but is a difference here in how you used to maybe interact with others versus how you interact with them now. You may be very more, gosh, I can't grammar. You might be someone who's just, like I said, just reserved. I keep repeating myself, but this is what the talk is. It's like almost, I wonder if there's someone who even feels a little bit like, I want to say slighted. Maybe there's a coworker who feels a little bit like, oh, well, now they don't, oh, well, they think that they're like moved on, or they're like, it even feels like high school, like, oh, that they're too good to talk about this, or they think they're better at this, or it's like a weird type of it's like a flip almost. It's like maybe this person, is a little confused. Maybe there's coworkers who are just kind of like, they don't understand the change. They don't understand how it happened or the shift or anything. They don't know the details of it. So it feels like in their perspective, it's like almost you're moving on from something. It's like maybe they're even thinking that you're moving to a different position, like I said. But you definitely have a feeling where you definitely let problems roll off your back now, whereas before I think they used to really bury you. And I think that's also a topic of conversation amongst people. But let us get... I want to do an oracle. Holy Spirit, what is the gossip on pile 1? Yes, repair. Okay. I'm just gonna put that there. Repair. So this definitely feels like there needs to be, there will be some type of amends coming about with, I think this is with that coworker, or maybe this is a friend that you have at work, or some type of relationship that you have at work, or maybe there's some type of miscommunication and that's kind of what's being talked about right now. Or maybe there just needs to be some clarification with you and a coworker about something. But it definitely feels like it's positive. Like, it feels like it will go in a positive direction. Because look at here. It says, making amends rather than fun times reveals a relationship's true constitution. See, I feel like this needs to be that, or not needs to be, but there will be a conversation that comes about pretty soon. Maybe in regards to if you're doing okay. Like, maybe this shift is like, people are like, what's going on? You know what I mean? Like, it's people they want to know more is what it is. They want to know more. They want to know what's going on. How did you get here to the Temperance, where it's like you kind of let these things, you don't let them get to you now. I'm getting the image, like, you know, when it's like those cartoons when a character gets really angry and the steam comes out of their ears. That's how, like, the image that was coming to mind. And it's like, you no longer are like that. Like, maybe you used to have a pretty short temper and you're like learning to like calm down on certain things about that at work. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's kind of all I'm getting for you guys. So I think we're going to end it here. I hope you guys have a really, really good evening or day wherever you're at. And I hope you're treated as you treat others. Bye, guys. Pile 2. Hello, my dears. I hope you are all doing well. I really don't know how to shuffle this long deck. So we're going to do our best. How are you all doing? You know, I didn't even ask. I did not even ask pile 1. Very rude. Very rude of me. But what about you guys? Pile 2, how are you guys doing? All right. Let me see. Holy Spirit, what is the gossip on pile 2? All right. Judgment. I think people think you're a really good judge of character. You might also be very intuitive, that people pick up on that you're intuitive. Maybe that's a topic of conversation, that maybe you are the person that everyone kind of goes to. Like, if you work in customer service or retail or something like that, or has to do anything with like dealing with entitled or angry or really impatient customers or something of that line. Like, I wonder if you even work at a call center or something like that. But there's something here where you're a good judge of character, I feel like, and that's kind of a conversation that happens amongst your coworkers. Like, you may be the person that people go to if there's like an upset customer or an upset client or an upset, like someone, someone who's on the other end, that you might be the person that people kind of go to. You have like a kind of a leader energy is what I'm picking up. Yeah, that's what I'm getting. I think that's what people talk about. Yeah, people also talk about how quick you are to move and take charge of a situation. I feel like this definitely... You are very quick. It's almost like you're a fast worker, like if you're not in a management position, some of you might be in management positions. If you're not in a management position, I think your management, like people in higher positions, probably talk about how you are a very quick worker, a very fast worker. You probably take initiative on a lot of stuff. You are probably the one to, like, if people are standing around, God, I almost just sounded like an old manager right now. I was gonna say, if people are standing around, it's like you're the first one to kind of like try to find something to do. And it doesn't even have to be in a sense where it's like you're up everyone else's ass on like doing work, but you might just be like very, like it's like you need to be on the go. Like you need to get stuff done. That's kind of the energy I get here. And that's what people talk about. So whether it be if that's like how you really are, or if this is how people see you, that's what I'm picking up. Holy Spirit, what is the gossip on pile 2 at work? What is going on at work for pile 2? What is going on in terms of gossip, conversation for pile 2? Just one card, please. One card for pile 2. Okay. Let's go. So you have the Empress. You might be a very nurturing person. Okay. I think your coworkers, like I said, this is definitely giving the energy where they go to you. Your coworkers might go to you. You might also be that like mom friend or the mom coworker or the dad, like whatever it is, like that parental nurturing kind of figure. Or you might have a trainee or something. Like there's someone, like you might be a mentor in some aspect, and maybe there's or like I said, you might be a manager position, and there's people in either they're inexperienced or they are a position that is under management or something like that, where they do talk about how you might be intimidating a little bit to this person. Or if you are like a trainer or something, you have this like, it's almost like people can go to you, like they know that, like people talk about how you are very, like once they get to know you and once you open up and once you really start to help and kind of tackle the job or tackle whatever it is that's going on in the work environment, I think people start to realize that you're actually like really hilarious. Man, look at all this purple. Look at all the purple and blues. I think you're actually really funny once people start to know you. That might be a part of conversation that's said. It's like almost like if there's someone new who comes in, it's almost like people around who know you, they're like, oh, like if someone makes a comment, it's like, oh, they're so quiet. And then it's like almost like, oh, wait until she opens up, or wait until she gets talking, or wait until they get talking. I know I keep saying she, but take it as it applies. Flip it if you need to, or I guess I should really just say they, but that's kind of the feeling I get. And you might also be that like friend. Oh my gosh, you know what I got? I don't know if you guys have ever seen Parks and Recreation, but there's a scene with what's his name? Oh my god, Ron Swanson, the actor who plays. Why am I forgetting his name? Shame on me, because he did an excellent job in the 3rd episode of The Last of Us, if any of you have seen that. But anyway, okay. So there's a scene with Ron Swanson, like a very serious, very like I'll have to link this scene below, okay? Because it's like his character, his personality is like completely one way, very serious, very like straight face, very committed to, I wouldn't even say his job because he's like anti-capitalist in that show, but it's more in a sense of pride, sense of self. You put 110% in your work, and people notice that and they talk about that. But it's like almost like if you go out with like a group of coworkers or something, it's like you are the life of the party. That's the kind of thing I'm getting. Or it's like people are shocked about how you will how you can let loose almost, because there's that scene in Parks and Rec where they end up going like drinking or something. They go out to some bar and he's like dancing, going crazy. Like, you know what I mean? That's the kind of vibe I'm getting here. And you might just be the person that people go to, like your intuition is crazy. I wonder if people even pick up on that or talk about that. They might not say intuition, but they might be like, oh my God, they know everything. Or like, man, how do they always know that? Or how do they know this answer? You know, like that type of vibe is kind of what I'm getting. But let's get one oracle and then we're gonna finish it off here. So Holy Spirit, what is the gossip, the topic of conversation around pile 2? One oracle, please. Thank you. You guys, with the purple again, look at this. Accountability. Responsibility is a gift of love to yourself and others. You are so responsible. People talk about how you are like an amazing worker. You might, if you are like the boss or management, people talk about how you are really just a great boss. You take accountability for things. You have your coworkers' backs. People talk about that. You carry a lot of the load. It could even, like if you're not management, or if you are even if you're like in a setting where it's not that many coworkers, like if you're in a small setting, big or small, honestly, it doesn't really matter, because the overall feeling that I'm getting here is that you do carry a lot of the workload. And this might even be a choice that you take, like maybe you take on a lot of work for yourself. I'm just like with the purple might be a very significant color for you. Look at this, like the pastels, like it's just gorgeous. Like you might have like a very purplish, bluish aura. People might talk about, I wonder if you even have like purple or pink hair that people talk about, or you have like a striking color hair, you know what I mean? That could be what it is. People might also talk about how you are a little bit stern in certain things, or maybe your tone can be a certain way. That might be a topic of conversation for some people. Or maybe there's a certain way, like the inflection in your voice, or it can be almost like people might think that you come off a little sharp tongue, maybe. Perhaps. Maybe for some of you. But that could just be it doesn't even have to, like when I say sharp tongue, it doesn't even have to be like in the words that you say to them. It just could be your tone. Like you could be talking about French fries or something, and it's like you have just like a very strong, like people be like, whoa, you know what I mean? Or like, you might just have like an abrupt way of talking in certain instances that people will notice or talk about, right? But I think what people do talk about is how much you take on, really how you are there for others. That might be a topic of conversation, how you maybe even light up the place, or light up the work area, or light up the type of training it is. Because even though you have that kind of intimidate, you might be an Aries or something, you might be a fire sign. But even with that, I feel like this is You're definitely someone that people, your coworkers, really respect. Even if there's some coworkers that you don't talk with or you don't really see eye to eye with on things, I think there's still a respect here in terms of even your work. Maybe if you don't connect with certain people personally, which that might just be for a few, because I do think that there is wherever it is here in your job, I do think there is a general like respect for you, honestly. That's the kind of vibe I'm getting here. You're very responsible. People know that they can depend on you. It's dependability. You're reliable. People know that they can count on you. You are the person that people go to. That's what I'm getting. And I think that's what people talk about. And people might also talk about you being a little bit intimidating. Or maybe like if people have a question, it's like oh, maybe you go ask. Maybe that's the kind of vibe in certain things. It's like, or if you have like a certain face, like if you have RBF, like resting bitch face, is like maybe certain times like coworkers will be like, oh, go see if she needs, or go check on and see if she needs this, or go ask if or you go ask, that type of thing. Especially if you're a manager, especially if you're like in a supervisor position or something like that. I kind of get that. But yeah, hopefully this resonated. That's all I'm kind of getting on that. If it didn't resonate, that's totally okay. There's so many other videos and so many other like pick a pile type things. I'm sure that there's something that's calling to you, that you will find for you. There's a message for you somewhere. But hopefully there was a message for you here. And if not, if it didn't resonate with this pile, maybe check out pile 1. If that didn't resonate, then, maybe next time there will be a video, or like I said, there's definitely so many other videos on YouTube to check out. But yeah, I think that's all. All right, you guys, I hope you have a beautiful rest of your night. Take care, lovelies. And I hope you're treated as you treat others. Bye, guys.